So Strider is a data business first and foremost. So we are collecting and harnessing open source data to develop really unique and tailored solutions for Fortune 500 companies that solve for insider threat issues, legal and compliance risk, and supply chain vulnerabilities across their organizations. We look at digital exhaust that exists online that is not necessarily technical in a cyber way, right? So we're not looking for hacks or anything like that. What we're looking at is how are nation states actually engaged in the commercial domain? How are they targeting and recruiting talent? How are they infiltrating supply chain and networks? And then where does that create risks for organizations? So that can also be a company, it can be government agencies. We're in essence in a new world, right? Where countries are actually competing within industry for competitive advantages, particularly in the emerging and frontier technologies. What the general public needs to know about Strider is that there are actual organizations that are enabling companies and government agencies around the world to actually defend themselves against nation states that are targeting them. When you think about America's economic and military competitiveness, it comes back to industry, right? The companies that are developing those solutions that then empower our men and women in uniform to execute their missions, or the intelligence communities to execute their missions, right? So what we're doing is building out a really unique capability and customer base that is actually proactively now defending themselves against those threats that I think is going to be key for our ability to maintain competitiveness over the long run. You know, when we talk about now having our headquarters in Utah, everybody immediately thinks about the talent here. You know, when you think about the national security community in DC, there's a lot of representation from Utah. We're super excited to be here in Utah. This has been a really important part of our growth story. The talent here is phenomenal. The support from the state has been just really inspiring, and we're excited to be part of this community that's rapidly growing. Utah companies are playing on the global stage in this arena. They don't get all the fanfare, and you know, folks from the national security community are pretty used to that, not being on the front cover of things. But I think, you know, forming the Utah Aerospace and Defense Association is going to be a key driver in helping to elevate the awareness and understanding of the role that Utah plays in this important competition. I have been so impressed with the talent that exists here in Utah, and also the willingness for folks to be part of something that's bigger than themselves, that sense of mission, which I think, you know, it's a little bit of a different environment when you're working for a company or organization that has a national security mission set, right? It's not just about revenue. Obviously, that's a core part of it, but it's also about how do you enable and drive a mission outcome. I think this is a really opportune time to leverage the resources that exist locally, but also then teaming up with DoD, right, the Pentagon, with the budgets that they're putting forward to help develop and expand the defense industrial base outside of the traditional areas that we don't really see it. So all of that kind of combined together, I think, puts Utah in a really unique position. And frankly, it's exciting to be part of UATA at this point in time and building that out.